Hi, welcome back to CS170 spring session. I'm just going to do a very quick video to go through some questions that were raised about the week 7 worksheet variables and functions, specifically around question 7 and question 8. Okay, so when you look at question 7 and question 8, the main difference is you see for question 7, the variable z equals to 4 is within the function. And then within question 8, you can see the variable z equals 4 is outside the function. So what that means is that essentially z equals to 4, that declaration is essentially a global variable for z, right? So every time you go into that function, whatever value you had for z before continues to carry on, okay? And I'm going to illustrate this in a second. But first, let me come back to the answer sheet that was also came with the assignment. So you can see the answers here. For question 7, you can see the values 1321, 56, 65, 711, so on and so forth. Look at question 8, you can see it starts off the same, 13 and 21, but then it starts to change a little bit, 22.5, 31.5, 40, 10. And there's a reason for that, right? And the main reason being that the var z equals to 4 is either in or out of the function, okay? And the easiest way for me to really go into this is really just paste the code in here, okay? So I took the code and I put it in here and I set it up where var z equals to 4 is on the outside. And then you run it, right? The only difference is that you can see there's one line here. I put the alert, okay? So I put in an alert to display this. So just like I've mentioned before, anytime you're trying to debug your code or whatever, easiest thing is to essentially put some print statements in there, right? In this case, it's an alert, right? Same thing. And I said z equals to whatever, right? And then I show the variable here, right? And you can see on the right-hand side, just by me running this matches exactly to what the answer is for 8. Okay, so it's running exactly the way it should be. So then why is it that you get different values? Okay, so let's see what happens when I run this code. All right, so the first time z equals to 4, which is fine. That's what you expect, right? So I defined the variable. First, I declared the variable z equals to 4, and I set it to be 4. I initialized it to 4. So that's why when you see z equals to 4 here from this alert box, it shouldn't surprise you that it's a 4, right? So that's fine. And then it will run through all the way through to the document, right? Now, the next time through, it says z equals to 13. Well, where do we get that from? Well, notice here, z equals to 13 is what 13 was from this first function, right? So this first function call, it was 13. So what does that mean? That means it kept the value, right? When you declare a variable and you initialize it there, it's not like it stays 4 forever, right? So you've obviously changed it. It became 13, and now the value of z is 13, right? If you try to do this in your head, maybe very quickly you're thinking, oh, z equals to 4 coming back in here again. It doesn't, right? Z equals to 4 when you first came in there, but now after you've done your calculations and you've modified z is now 13. So that's why when you come into here, z is not less than or equal to x, right? And then you get the z equals to z plus 9, right? So 9 plus 3 equals to 22. So that's how you came up with 22, right? Now let's click OK. Now what happens? Well, z came out of here as 22, and now it comes back in here as 22, right? So that's why the z value keeps on going up, because you left it as a global variable, and all of these different things here just keep on making z bigger and bigger, okay? If you want to continue doing this, you'll be able to just play around with it, and you should be able to see what I'm saying here, okay? I hope this answers your questions on this.